Hello again, everyone. Edwin Learnard back once again. In this YouTube astrological segment, I'm going to be talking about the Black Moon Lilith in Sagittarius, and where the sign that the Black Moon Lilith is in your natal chart, it can show the very strong negative manifestation of that sign, and it could be the dark side of that sign that comes out. Now, being in Sagittarius, this could be something where perhaps this person may shirk their responsibilities. They may have over-optimism on certain things. They could be very reckless, unreliable, and could face strong repercussions from foolhardy decisions. I had a friend that has I mentioned this in another video, the Black Moon Lilith. He has it in Sagittarius at the 22nd degree in his 5th house, and what happened was, unfortunately, he lost a child. As you know, the 5th house governs children. Apparently what happened was a girl, an underage girl that he had sex with, that was underage, he created a child with. Now, the child that they created was not killed, but what happened was he had a child from another union, and that girl that was underage was babysitting that kid, and apparently she shook the baby to death. So it really, this was really, if you think about it, if he wasn't connected with that girl to begin with, this would not have happened. But anyway, that's a very extreme example of what could happen with the Black Moon Lilith and being in Sagittarius as well, and it being given that this was in the 5th house. So anyway, the Black Moon Lilith can also indicate that state, what's going to put us in that state of trepidation, strong trepidation. And being in Sagittarius, it could be not being able to meander or roam and really have your adventurous lifestyle, freedom being inhibited, being despondent, being in a situation that might make you feel disconsolate, or you're confined in some way. Now, keep in mind too, where the Black Moon Lilith, the sign that the Black Moon Lilith is in your natal chart, this could represent a person that may figure very prominently in your life scheme and can very well play a dominant role. Could also be somebody that could be adversarial, so the person may figure strongly one way or another. So with the Black Moon Lilith in Sagittarius, well, this could indicate that somebody with their sun, moon, or ascendant in Sagittarius may figure very strongly in your life one way or another, for better or worse. Could be a very strong ally, or could wind up being a very formidable adversary. Now, where the Black Moon Lilith is placed in your natal chart can show that side, that area where you may be trying to extricate yourself from, but you may be having tremendous difficulty in doing so. And being in Sagittarius, it could be a situation which may be inhibiting the person's freedom. It could be something connected with being in a congregation, a religious congregation, that maybe is making the person unhappy. It could be a situation that might be inhibiting the person's freedom or ability perhaps to travel. And another thing to keep in mind as far as this placement goes, the placement where the Black Moon Lilith is in can show that part of life, where that area where you don't want unveiled. Now, it could be that dark side that you want to keep hidden, or you want to keep it in the dark, so to speak, and keep it concealed. Now, this could be a thing where perhaps this person that has this placement may have been duped by false prophets and doesn't want to, perhaps they don't want that coming out. Maybe in some isolated cases, this person may have been one of those people as well, and somebody that went around perhaps telling their own truth, so to speak, and maybe distorted the truth in the process. Sagittarius is a sign that doesn't do anything on a small scale. It could be on a very large scale, whatever it is they do. Now, the thing too is, I thought what was interesting about this is that Jose Canseco, former Major League Baseball player, many of you may know, he wrote a book was somewhat controversial called Juiced, and Jose Canseco has his Black Moon Lilith posited in Sagittarius. Now, the book, he talks about people that, at least he states in the book, that used steroids. And the thing about it is the Black Moon Lilith can be about unveiling, and Sagittarius, of course, doesn't do this in a small way. Keep in mind, Sagittarius is associated with sports, so I think it's very interesting that he did this. And when you have the Black Moon Lilith in Sagittarius, you could be speaking, whether it's true or fallacious. When you speak, it can be, or your actions, what you say, can be very blunt, and it could have strong repercussions on others. It could be to the point where you may actually wind up demoralizing one or more people. It may not necessarily be malicious, but that could be one of the drawbacks of having this placement. Now, another thing too, as far as sexually goes with this placement, as I stated before, Sagittarius doesn't do anything on a small level, and the Black Moon Lilith can indicate that real uninhibited, that very strong erotic sexual side of the person. So this is something where the sex urge can be very, very strong and very erotic, but this person might put on like they're a little benevolent front to try to draw their lovers in, so to speak, and make exorbitant promises but not fulfill many of them. And this person that has this placement may be very adventurous, so to speak, in the sexual department, if you know what I mean, and may not settle just for one partner. Excuse me, people. I got a Taurus rising cough, unfortunately. Anyway, well, last but not least, it's also essential that this person can embrace the higher level of the sign. It's not all bad, the Black Moon Lilith, and if you could attain the higher level, of course, that is great. Now, doing so, one example could be unveiling people that are false prophets, that are charlatans, being visionary, using that to positive use, being a motivational guru, speaking out on the truth that will be beneficial to others as opposed to possibly hurting them. So, anyway, people, that'll conclude this YouTube astrological segment for the Black Moon Lilith in Sagittarius, and stay tuned next time where I'll be talking about the Black Moon Lilith in Capricorn. Two things I want to get with you on before I head out. Firstly, the stars may impel but do not compel. And secondly, never isolate any single astrological element, aspect, planetary placement, position, configuration, influence, or what have you, and make an analysis of a person, astrologically speaking, based on this alone. Because astrologically speaking, the person is the sum of all their components in their natal chart and not just one. Until next time, people, stay well.